got you under my skin. I've got you deep.
Hey, welcome back to Piece of Chaos. As I promised, I have a guest this week. My guest is Morgan Taylor. She is she's been on the podcast before, but it was before she was a comic. So Morgan is, I guess, a producer and works for marketing and events for Don't Tell Comedy. Awesome group that puts on amazing comedy shows all over the country. Check them out. So this was a super geeky comedy podcast. We talked about comedy and her fresh perspective and my old grizzled kind of perspective on it. And it was fun. It was a good conversation. And I hope you enjoy listening to Morgan Taylor.
Hey, you'll like this. So I just got super shot up with science today.
Oh, yeah?
I got my booster and my flu shot.
Oh, shit. Nice. Keep your arms moving.
Yeah, it hurts. I'm like, my arms feel full of science and disease. I'm like, wow, this is really cool, but also really scary.
Yeah. I mean, if you've already gotten the vaccine, you know, basically, other than like long term, if there's any issue, I mean, you already know what it's like, you know?
Yeah.
So.
The first time I got, or like my second Moderna, it messed me up, and I went into like a Mare of Easttown fever dream.
Oh, wow.
You know, which, I mean, I was watching Mare of Easttown, but like I would like black out, wake up, watch a little, and like go back to sleep. It's like, I feel like I've seen the show, but
yeah,
from, you know, I probably saw a different version of it than everybody else.
You had a nasty fever, huh? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, man, this whole thing is bananas. Like, everybody experiences the disease different. Everybody experiences the vaccine different.
It's true. Some people have a Mare of Easttown blackout, and
you should rewatch it. It's a fun one. Yeah,
I don't know. I was thinking like, what do I want to lean into this time with the booster? I'm supposed to go with a friend to like RuPaul's Christmas like drag con party tomorrow night, so that might be part of my fever dream.
Right on. Dude.
Yeah.
So, what is up with you, man? Like, tell me everything. What brought you to starting to actually do comedy? You know,
Yeah.
I'll do a little intro on the thing, and people remember. But I mean, you were on. It was a while ago now, like 6 or 7 months ago, maybe something like that. I should have looked it up, but yeah. So what's up?
Yeah, it's been you know. So I left my corporate job, I think right before we had spoken last, and like doing corporate and government PR, being like a spokesperson, had been like my sole focus for so many years, basically since college. And like comedy had always been like a big hobby of mine, or something that's an interest. It's like one of the first things that I always list off. And I had this like note just full of like random ideas that just had been building over the years and stuff, but always like one day I'll do that. But like, maybe it was a security blanket, or it was also just like a valid reason, but like, you can't really be a spokesperson and then like get up on stage and like talk about the stuff I'd want to talk about, or like real people want to talk about. It's like, wouldn't be a good pairing for everything else I was doing. So maybe it was partly an excuse, but when the pandemic hit, it was one of those things that like the idea that I never get to try it again, like, or never get to try it, period. Like, weirdly devastated me. Like, I don't know. It was like, I listened to a ton of podcasts about, you know, comedy and like, you know, being something that I was interested in, and just the way comedians were talking about it, and just like logically everything was so, you know, falling apart and up in the air in the middle of the pandemic. People, they were like, comedy's dead, man. Like, I feel bad if you were just starting out, if you never tried it, like you're too late. And I was like, really upset, like crying about
Yeah.
this thing that I never even did. And that told me something that like, hey, if this thing turns around, you got to give it a shot. And and then it came back around and I hit 30 and I was like, all right, time to sack up, lady.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's really cool. That's really cool. So would you say it was like, since you were little, like you've always loved comedy kind of thing? Or like when did you think you started to really get into it? Like who's the first comedians you gravitated towards?
My first like early memory of comedy being on my radar was probably in like middle school. I would come home. I lived in walking distance of my middle school. So it's probably one of the only kids of my, millennial generation to like walk home from school, even though I'd try to get a ride the one block to school, like not begrudgingly, but yeah, I would like walk home from school
Uphill both ways.
It literally was. It was one block uphill both ways, and my mom would be like, "Oh my God, you're fine." But it built character. I got a lot of character that way.
Yeah.
But I would walk home after school and make my snack, which is typically like cinnamon sugar toast and like a bunch of other junk. And I would turn on usually like whatever cartoons were on and stuff. But I remember probably not cartoons. So I was in middle school. Probably something cool like Brace Face, which is better. But I remember watching like the Comedy Central's Premium Blend, and I'd see the first one that like registered was like Dane Cook when he did that one where he's wearing that like bro tank and he's like super out there and outrageous, and that one resonated with me. And then I don't remember how I got his CD, but like that CD just like came on the scene and it was like boom, everyone had it. And I listened to that, like that and the Moulin Rouge soundtrack were like my 8th grade middle school soundtrack, which tells you probably a lot about me. But yeah, he's the one that came into my consciousness first, for sure.
He was unbelievable when he first came out, man. I loved his stuff so much. He had that tour that he did with Bobby Kelly, and I think I want to say Gary Goldman was on that, but like he did a bus tour. He was the first to embrace the internet. Like he did a lot of really cool things with the internet and MySpace. Like he changed the social media platform for comics. I have always thought like, man, if today comics did half the shit for themselves that he did 20 years ago or whatever, I mean, he was pretty much a trailblazer. He came out like he's a good comic, amazing comic. I still think there's a lot of like, the whole thing about stealing jokes was kind of weird. I still don't feel like that was like ever really resolved to the, like, I don't know, who am I to judge, but it was just like, I think you took the bit. You should have just said you took the bit. Like,
and I honestly haven't gone down, like, maybe I probably need to like get a process together for this, but like, I haven't gone down a lot of rabbit hole. Like, I'm a big fan of, Dane Cook, Amy Schumer, like her sketch stuff and everything. Like there seems to be like a lot of, I've gone down some like YouTube spirals, but like I haven't super given a lot of credence to it. Cause like and I'm sure there's validity to it, like legitimately if I wanted to like go down that rabbit hole, but like, it does terrify me, the idea of like parallel thinking, or like how many times have you heard a comic do a bit that you're like, oh, that's kind of like a thing that I thought of.
Yeah.
Like there's only so many ways to look at a thing, so it seems like it is a tough thing to avoid for sure.
It's tough to avoid, but it's easy to handle well. Like, you know what I mean? So like Dane, so I don't know. I really love Dane Cook's material. He was killer. Like some of his bits, like were just unbelievable. The stuff about the argument in the grocery store, like so good. But I don't know. The jokes are just so hard.
What do you think? So that's interesting. And that makes me feel better a little bit. It's not like I have to like put my head in the sand to be like, never look up a joke that might be close to, or, if I don't hear it, then I didn't copy it or whatever. But like, if there's a good way to handle when that parallel thinking does happen, I wonder what that is, or like, I don't know if off the top of your head you can think of someone who handled it well, or like what you would do in that scenario. That might be nice to
Well,
think about.
So like I ran this show for 5 years in LA called Comedy Ahoy with this guy, Brian McWilliams, and we would have 10 comics per show. It was too many. It was too many comics actually.
That's
But
a long show.
it was really fun. Like we packed this dive bar once a month, and it was just the craziest show. Like so many crazy things happened. Like it was great. Everybody that did it was great. We had a fun audience. Like they were super comedy, super into it. Like it was just unbelievable. The show ended because the bar lost their lease and went out of business and closed. Otherwise, it probably would still be going on. Like it was so awesome, and the bar
Where
was
was that
such.
show?
It was down in Marina Del Rey,
Oh, nice.
at the corner of Lincoln and I should know this, but I just know where it is. Like it was awesome, like unbelievable show. It was a place called Sports Harbor, which it was just a shithole. Like literally, places like this. I didn't think still existed in LA. Like it was such a dump. Like disgusting carpet. The bathrooms were
I
disgusting.
was gonna say, if my feet, I feel like I've done a few dive shows, and I'm like, if my feet stick to the floor, it's a good spot for me.
It was negligent how gross it was for 5 whole years. Like you would have thought, like at some point they'd be like, you know what, let's get a plumber in here so the floor's not always wet. Like
Yeah.
not even once did they think of doing that. But the show was unbelievable, supported so well by the the local community. Anyway, we just saw a lot of people, a lot of comics, and did a lot of shows. And also Brian and I, the co-producer, we did every show basically. Like I did not miss a show. Like in that whole time, like I never missed one. Like I was so proud. Like I was like, this is fucking awesome. I even flew in a few times like that night and went to the show. Like, and even if I only saw one comic, like I was there.
It was a priority. You wanted to be there.
It was so dope. So, we had to handle and talk about that shit a lot, because, the way we handled it was we would talk with the comic and talk about it usually. Like it'd be like, oh, you know what? I had something similar, but I did this, or I'm just going to bag mine. Yours is better. Like, I think, or, like, I don't know. It just seems like it should be a conversation that's like, fuck, yeah, we both came up with the same thing. That's fine. That happens. There's only so many things to talk about. And fuck now, what are we going to talk about besides COVID? So there's going to be a lot of parallel things. But anyway, like it seemed like it would always just be a conversation. Like if it was, and also I've heard other comics say like, you'll think of something else. Like, don't worry about, like, don't use it anymore. Like sometimes I would see somebody do a joke and be like, yeah, that's so much better. Like I don't need to do it, So I think don't be worried about it. Just when it happens, handle it. But some people get really pissed because jokes are so hard. Part of it is
ones that are like, they're so clear, and you got to just know that things are timestamped forever. Like I record every single mic I've ever done, to my own, embarrassment and horror, some of the case, but like, that's something it's like a system I've learned to like, I don't know. It's like, it's weird. Like the thing that really has struck me with comedy. So I started, my first mic was July 7th, right. That I first went up, and I was at the Corbin Bowl in the Valley, and which is like, kind of loud, like distracted situation. I wasn't planning on going up, but I just like was going to go check it out and ended up doing it. And, I'm just like rambling up there, but the cool, and like, I watch back and I'm like, oh, I need punchlines. Like I need jokes. Like that was good. But the thing that I was most scared of was like freezing up and like shitting my pants. And like, that didn't happen. I was actually like, looked way more comfortable than I felt. So I was like, okay, cool. The hard thing that you can't quite manufacture felt like it was easier, but I've recorded all of them since then, and it's really helped me a lot. And so like, I don't know, like, because, and I bet a lot of people record their stuff. And so it's probably really easy to prove like how your jokes evolve, if it's really there. Like, and if
Yeah.
you're not stealing from someone, then you shouldn't really, I guess, have to worry about it.
I guess the thing is that it's such a different game now than it's ever been, and also it's not a zero-sum game. So like, unless like if you have one joke that is like your joke and you will never give it up, and somebody blatantly just rips it off word for word, that's pretty fucked up, and everybody knows whose joke it is, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It's when it gets a little nuance, right? That you're like, first of all, how often are you going to be performing together? How often are people going to hear those jokes at the same time? Probably very rarely. So we only hear about the real famous ones. Like, you wouldn't know that Dane Cook stole a joke unless it was Louis C.K.'s joke, which is bad for, and this is why it gets bad, right? Because if he's willing to take a joke that everybody knows is out there on a record, like,
Is that what
easily
happened?
provable, yeah. So if that's like easily provable, right, then it's bad for young comics who write really well but aren't famous, because they will go do the show. Somebody who's willing to steal a joke will steal the joke and then potentially make money from that joke, right? So it's a precious thing. That's where it's bad. So I'm thinking of it as like everybody's kind of on the same level coming up, and you start to have parallel thinking, and you're like, oh, your joke's better. Like, that is literally the camaraderie of being comics. But what happened with Dane Cook and Louis C.K. was literally like Louis C.K. put this on a record, and like in like years before. Now, could Dane Cook have forgot that he heard it? Absolutely.
Brian Williams, we'll call it the Brian Williams effect, where you like legitimately don't remember that you like are lying about something, and your brain like evolves to be like, that is the truth. I came up with it. That's what happened.
and could he have talked himself into that the entire time up until when he did the special where he recorded the same joke? Yes. Right?
Yeah.
So afterwards, you can just be like, you just have to be like, it must have seeped into my consciousness. Like, I didn't mean to steal it. Sorry. You know?
Yeah. And you have to, and to admit that when you genuinely have convinced yourself otherwise would be not, yeah, to admit that and to be like, because you can't ignore what you see in front of you and be like, I guess I did. And, you know, that's that. And you kind of, I would hope that I would cut my losses and be like, I want to keep my integrity here and like speak to people where
the stuff at. With this, and I don't mean to shit all over your heroes, but like the fact is, like,
honestly, all my heroes deserve to be shit on, probably.
There's definitely like a lot of, and I also don't know that Amy Schumer is like the one who did it, but there definitely seemed to be a lot of joke stealing going into her sketch show. But I don't have firsthand knowledge of it. It's all hearsay, and comics talk shit about each other. But you can now, because everything's recorded, you can go say, well, here's the sketch I recorded and put on YouTube on this date, and 4 months later, it's on SNL. I didn't get a check. Like,
well, and actually,
so
you bring up a point that I wanted to talk about, because like as a new comic, and like there's just so much, like it's really easy to go, I would think, to go insane and to be like, oh, I need to be like, well, and you know, I spent the first like 4 months after I left my corporate job. Well, like I started working with Don't Tell Comedy and like getting to be in that cool middle ground of like booking events and getting to understand like the comedy world from that producer sort of side of it. And like, it was almost like, I'm like, okay, I secretly want to be a NASCAR driver, but right now I'm going to be a chauffeur and like learn what it's like to like drive these people. But because you can't really say like, I want to do comedy unless you try it, unless you're like, know that you like it. So in that middle ground, I just studied a lot. I listened to a ton of podcasts, watched a ton of things. Like I did Judd Apatow's masterclass. So yes, I am trained by Judd Apatow.
Yeah, perfect.
And like, you know, I danced around everything but get on stage until open mics seemed like they started coming back. And I did my first one in July. So that like April to July part, I studied a ton, and it was like, well, what I kind of gleaned out of it is like, get up on stage as much as you can, just get as funny as you can. Cause that's like the number one thing that you can do before anything else. That's what you need to do. So I'm like, okay, cool. That's simple enough. And then the other parts are like, you know, get on as many or post everything online, get TikTok famous, get Instagram famous.
There's no
make
formula.
a Facebook page, make a podcast, do all this stuff. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, so that next level of like finding your niche on top of like getting stage time is where I'm like struggling a little bit. But I also like, so there's something that gives weight to the fact that like you should be because I hear comics go, don't post things online unless the joke is done. But then I'm like, yeah, but post everything online, because then it's out there and like it's burning, your art is burning a hole in your pocket if you're not just like posting shit. I don't know.
You have to realize,
School of thought.
what you have to realize is nobody knows the answer, because
That's not what I want to hear, Matt.
there is no answer. Like, it's all of it. It's all of it at the same time. So here's the thing. Like, if you go do, and first of all, you have a cheat code because you presented in corporate America. So you talked about boring shit in front of people. So you don't have stage fright, which is what most comics need to get over in the first place to even do it, which is why I think people say you got to get on stage a lot. It's like, not if you're comfortable on stage already. Like,
but that feeling the audience and making an audience laugh is, my goal was never to make people laugh in my old job.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you split it into like, some people can't even stand on stage with people looking at them. Like, you already know how to talk into a microphone in front of people. You just don't know how to be funny all the time on purpose, consistently. That's the art of writing the joke. But all I'm saying is it's a little bit of a cheat code. It's like a little bit of a leg up that you're comfortable on stage already, right? Recording every time is amazing, because listen back and you will learn what you did wrong. You will know what's right and what's wrong from hearing it. You'll hear laughs you didn't know that were there. You're like, oh yeah, they laughed at that word. Okay.
I like black out every time I get up there. So when I go back and I listen, I'm like, oh, that's different. And when I hear comics go like, oh, I record sometimes, I go like,
I would be so pissed when I forget to record. I'm like, motherfucker, I forgot.
And those are called the lost tapes that are the best ones ever, probably.
Yeah. So I always try to record everyone. I listen on the way home from the gig. It's just like part of it is like, and that's how you write better, because you correct it. You know, you're like, oh, that was too wordy. I should have cut this out. You know, you can literally dissect it on the fly.
Here's where I like blunder through. I need to tighten it up, or yeah.
So I think it's more quality than quantity, kind of like make every show count. That's kind of what I mean. Like, if you're going to go do a mic because that's the only way you're going to get feedback on a new joke, then go do that.
And record, and try to get a good recording. Like, if you're going to go out there and do it, get a good recording so at least you can hear back and maybe post a clip. Like, I've posted a couple clips from mics that, you know, people don't know the difference between like a mic and a show. And like, if the clip's good, It's very hard to get that trifecta of like good looking clip where you can stay in the sight and sound of yourself and where the audience laughs and like you tell the joke you want it to be told. I'm like, if I hit all three, I'm like, just go. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you need to I don't think you hold it dear, because it's like a fire hose of shit coming at people. The fact that anybody sees your shit even once is amazing. So it's just like, fuck it. Just keep putting it in there. You're building a body of work. You know what I mean? Like, get it out there. I think, you know, but
I
writing
think as far as we can be right,
I think
we're right.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm not paying my bills with comedy, so I'm not completely right, but I'm also not out there doing it like I would if I had no other obligations, which is the thing. Like, and I'm old. So like, if I'm in your shoes, like, yeah, you got plenty of time. You're going to crush it. Like, just keep going, you know?
Here's the thing, Matt, is like, I feel like I would hopefully, well, like you were saying, like I have a code because I was in corporate America before and stuff, but like coming into comedy and having just turned 30, it's like, I mean, I don't feel like it's been a disadvantage so far. I feel like, but I do feel like there seems to be like a faux boost of, you know, interest and like excitement when you're first on the scene. And so I'm like wary of that, but, I'm like, you know, there better be some advantages to the fact that I've been like doing other stuff for 10 years and like can hopefully, and the business experience, like I never thought of myself as an entrepreneur, but like I am an entrepreneur.
You are your own business right now. You are in the Morgan Taylor business.
Yeah. Like I can't think of a good word of it right now, but yeah, like comedians are entrepreneurs, like it or not. And like having that, I don't know, trying to work smart and not necessarily and work hard, both at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, you're bringing so many skills to the table that people don't have, and that's great. And you need them all,
And then some, yeah.
if I figure like you have to be self-sufficient. If you leave things up to other people, nobody's going to live up to your expectation or disappoint you, or they'll take something from you, or they won't do it like you like, or it's a barrier to getting things done. Like anybody that I talk to and walk through these kind of things is just like, if you put a barrier up in front, this is so hard to do anyway. If you put some kind of barrier up in front of you to get it done, good fucking luck. Like if you don't know how to do some of this stuff and you're waiting to do it because you don't know how, well then fucking learn. Like,
yeah, there is endless barriers. And I feel like it's really nice. And like, I think what's clicked with me with comedy, granted I've been doing it, what is it? We're coming up on 7 months now, but like time's accelerated. It's post-pandemic. Like
time is so strange.
Let's fucking go. It's like post-pandemic. It's like, and I feel like there's this new class, like from what I can tell from like the tiers of comics that I've come encountered with, it feels like every there's a comedic class. Like you have the open micers you were there with at the same time, the people who help get you booked on stuff. Like it's a graduating class essentially. And there's just feels like this new influx of, there's the comedians who just started who are probably like me being like, oh God, like I got to try this thing or whatever, who found themselves there. There's ones who were like just getting going right before the pandemic, and that we've all kind of got lumped in this big mesh of people who are trying to figure their shit out. And also with like social media giving birth to so many new careers during the pandemic, and comics being like, oh shit, I could be doing that. Like it's the wild, wild west, baby. Like we can all just go.
But, and there's so many fucking people. Like it doesn't matter. Like this is not zero sum. Like literally in this city alone, it's crazy how many people there are. And comedians especially, you will find your people will find you, and you will find your people, and that's the only people you need. There's this article by Kevin Kelly called 1,000 True Fans, and it's just like you don't need everybody. Like as an artist, you can sustain yourself with your group of people. If there's 1,000 people that will buy everything you put out, right? Like you can live. So you have to decide what you want for your life and just go at it and do it. And your people will find you and they'll be with you for life. Musicians too. Like it's never been easier to connect with everybody all the time. And like, I think for comics, like people say, oh, another podcast, but it's like, well, you know what a podcast does for a comic is it teaches you how to talk. It teaches you how to think. And especially if you think and it's being recorded, as weird as it is, something is different when you're having those conversations. And it helps you think through your thoughts, almost like coming up with material. And people connect with comics because they know them. And when it's like you're hypnotizing people kind of when you're doing comedy. Like you're saying, okay, think like me for a couple minutes. Think what I'm thinking, listen to what I'm saying, visualize what I'm saying, come with me on this ride. And at the end, we'll all laugh together because I think it's funny. Well, those are your people, right? And if they can hear you interact all the time, then they're really your people. Like, dude, I don't know if you listen to Sarah Silverman's podcast. It's exceptional. And
I have a few times. I need to add it to the regular rotation.
I already liked her as a comic, like genius comic, but you're like, now it's like,
you're making me remember. Someone literally just earlier tonight asked me, who are your comedy icons or comedy role models, whatever. And I always forget her. And she totally was. It was her. Oh my God, her jokes about fucking Jesus is coming. I hear Birkenstock classic clacking. I'll fucking kill him again. Like that, and Dane Cook's like album. Like there's some from her, but like there were a few I ripped from LimeWire. Sorry guys, but like a few I ripped from LimeWire, and then the few that I bought. But like when I went to my first show, I played those in the car with my boyfriend at the time. We played those, and like I was like reciting them to myself, like I was listening to like, Queen's best hits or whatever. And I'm like, the fact that this is ingrained in me. Like now that's what I call music, volume 5. And then you got Sarah Silverman and Dane Cook. I'm like, that is freaking powerful. And like to have more of those voices, like that resonate with people is just really cool. I don't know if it's, at the same level, I think it's evolving like anything else, but like people are getting as loyal, if not even more so, of followings through these different mediums, like you're saying.
Yeah, that's the move. You got to find your people, talk to your people, and learn about yourself. Like.
What if I had a podcast of just talking to myself the whole time?
That's what Bill Burr does. That's what mine is if I don't have guests. Like, that's what Kim Crawl does. You got to look at Kim Crawl. You got to look at Beth Stelling. There's so many good ones. And it's just, I don't know, if you're into comedy, there's nothing better. Like, comics, that's the best part, is hanging out with comics before the shows, after the shows.
Yeah, that's what it's taken me. Like, so I'm commuting now. I'm like, because I moved, the pandemic, like, it gave me a couple different gifts, like the ability to like leave my job and move home and like try this career shift and be like, ooh, no one's going to judge me. Like, who knows how long I would have I don't know if I ever would have gotten the chutzpah to leave my job and do all this without the pandemic happening. I'm like, ooh, I can pretend like this affected me. Like do this, but no, I'm like, ooh, it's like under the cover of night, I can like move home and try comedy, which seems, I'm like, bananas, but why not? But now I commute from my dad's in Camarillo to basically I do comedy in Ventura and then comedy in LA a lot. And I see it as like, commuting to work. And you're right. It's where I get my practicing done, where I listen to stuff. I listen to a ton of podcasts. But it's like that hang at the end is where I struggle now, because I'm like, I can't just be in and out, because they see you go in and out of the mics and stuff and they go, oh, that girl's got places to go, people to see. She doesn't, well, she's not going to hang. So it's like, I know she's funny, but I'm going to pick the funny one who I like, or the funny one who just dips every time. So I'm putting in my time with hang, and it has been paying off, but it's hard.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's times are different now. I mean, you don't even know if you can hang with people sometimes, and being inside and all that crap. And
double vax, baby. I got my hang pass right here. For those who are just listening, I showed him my Band-Aids.
She has legit Band-Aids on each arm.
They hurt. They got out. I got double owies.
Yeah, I mean, the hang is all of it to me, and the art. So, especially if you can get other comics to like be like, I like that joke, or somebody gives you a tag, or oh my God, it's the best. Or if you come up with a tag that you see work, that was always my favorite. Like in a way, was like repeat seeing people and be like, how about this? And they're like, oh, I'm going to try that. And then by the time I would see him again a few months later, it's part of the joke. You're like, that it worked. Like it worked,
Oh, I do love that. And I actually haven't got to see that play out, but I've had him like send me a few times, like, oh, like, like check it out, or thanks for this, or whatever. And I've definitely like, so I have this problem where I think everyone thinks and is the same way I am, which maybe is like why I can't do comedy. Cause I'm like, everyone will think this is funny because I do.
Yeah.
But like that can, I don't know. I'll keep it because it's gotten me enough places. But like, I definitely think that there's an art to giving people tags that I need to be sensitive to. Where I'm like, if someone comes up to me with a tag or an idea, I'm like, bring it on. Like, hell yeah. But like, I've learned that maybe some people are more sensitive to that and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know. I just like I can't keep my mouth shut when I want to share that and stuff. But I don't know. What do you think? Is there a good rule of thumb there, or can I just like be myself? And if they don't like it, like they can just not listen to me.
I would usually say, hey, do you take tags?
I have started doing that.
Some people aren't into it.
And when they say no, though, I'm like, oh, so you think your joke is perfect the way it is?
Yeah, maybe.
But that's me being, that's like, or me, that's, I go like, and then
well, see, I'm very picky too. Like I get people will give me tags and stuff, and I just give them immediate feedback, usually like, not for me. Like, but thank you, but no. Like because to me, the writing is so crucial that if I didn't come up with it, it's hard for me to remember it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. And I think I wish people gave me more tags. If to anyone listening, give me tags. Give me tags. Because it's always so like, so I host a mic in Pasadena. I host once a week from 5 to 8. And usually I'll like either host the book show afterwards or, go to another thing afterwards on Saturday nights. But it's a really nice, like the Pasadena Comedy, the Hollywood Comedy, they're just basically two open like comedy gyms where you can like come work it out. There's usually like a few comics in the crowd or like more people out there. And it's just like it's a good place to go for me, at least once a week, where I can like go try out new stuff. And like, it's like a great workout class. It's like, I'm a weekend warrior, at the gym. But like when we only have a few people signed up there, I always ask like, hey, are you guys open to doing a feedback mic where you do like your 5 minutes and then people can do 5 minutes of feedback. And it's so cool to hear, especially as a female comic, usually performing to like groups of dudes. And like, that's like, the audience that I want to be able to, I don't know what I'm saying that they have questions about, that they find confusing or that they find really funny, especially like I have a whole bit that's like 6 minutes long about circumcision. Like I don't have a dick. So it's like nice to hear like guys who have one that usually are on one side of the equation that they can like talk, like, what do you think about this and stuff? So those feedback mics are so helpful. And they're like, yeah, I didn't get that. That's so confusing. And I'm like, oh, and just because when I hear someone set and I have a question, it just, I like can't listen after I have that question in my head.
Right. It takes your attention away. Yeah,
totally. And so I'm like, I love to know just because people have different perspectives. So like sometimes those feedback mics are even more helpful because it just invites, rather than the annoying person like me who just like has a random tag, it just invites like, how does a normal person experience this? And I'm like, I don't understand how things can get to the best possible point because like I have questions, but I'm like, well, no one's open to hearing it unless they're at this like feedback mic. So anyway, I found those to be extremely helpful.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just the relationships, you build relationships with enough people to know where you're comfortable having those kind of chats, or like, even the other thing is you're so in your head and so time sensitive when you're first doing mics. I've done stuff where you just literally find when you're doing the bit, you see who's confused and you ask them like, hey, what do you not understand what I'm saying? Like literally you get, you know what I mean? Like, so you're like, oh yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's not always the most fun, but like I ran so many of my own shows and had that comfort with like Comedy Ahoy and Brewing Comedy, the people came back to shows all the time. So you get comfortable with the crowd a little bit and just be like, wait, you guys should have laughed at that. What's wrong? What's the problem? Do you not understand that? Oh, that's an East Coast thing. Got it. All right. So,
and when you're good enough that you can turn the process of getting feedback into something that's funny too, and not just like, subjecting people to your inner process where you're like, I can actually make this part of the bit and I'm comfortable enough to bounce back. That's really cool.
That's the recording thing too. I would notice that I would say things that required the inner dialogue for it to make sense, but I didn't say the inner dialogue. So like you'd hear yourself doing the bit and be like, I said that thing that's a complete reference to something that I didn't tell them. You know what I mean? So like, did it make sense the whole way through? So you have to be like objective listening to it and forget it's you, to be just be like, oh yeah, that's, if you don't know this, you couldn't possibly know what I'm talking about in this part.
The one time you said the joke and it totally killed. And then the next time where you forgot the one part.
Yeah. That makes it make sense. Yeah.
Assemble it. It's not always, sometimes it's like a magic form. Sometimes it's real. Like the thing I've been struggling with lately is, learning how to host well and do your opening bit and stuff. Like that's like, I love, like, don't tell anyone, but I low key love hecklers because like, I know, I'm sorry, but like, I find that like, it's a great way for me to like, to test that muscle and like things will come out of the void. And like 9 times out of 10, it's like funnier than something like whatever the interaction's fun. But like that, when
as a host, you're allowed.
Yeah. But when I know that I'm supposed to be off the cuff, that psychs me out a little bit. When I know like I'm about to kick off this show and ask like I'm basically like throwing a question out into the void instead of like letting something come at me. I'm struggling to find a way to be purposefully engaged and not also like lose track. I don't know. So I'm trying to figure out my own rhythm with hosting, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, hosting is a different beast. I always thought of them as different. Like I always had a co-host for the shows that I produced. So we would flip flop. Every other show, we would either be the host or just be on the show, which was great because hosting's a whole other thing. You can't really concentrate your time in people. You have to know everybody's name. You're supposed to know intros. Like it's a whole different.
Yeah, you have to know everyone's intros. Okay, the thing I've been struggling with is, well, I've already listed 7 things I'm struggling with. But one of the things I'm struggling with also is, okay, it's like I thought it was cute to, and I got this from a co-host of mine, Mike McFarland. He and I had this great like rapport going on when it's like the two of us co-hosting, but he has a great system where he asks like where you're from, next show, and then a fun fact. And so I've like kind of adopted that framework for people coming in. And I'm like, give me a fun fact. Who would have thought that asking a bunch of comedians who are paid to be funny for a fun fact would be so difficult? It's like they're all deer in headlights. They're like, fun fact, I'm a published author. I'm like, that is not fun.
Yeah, yeah.
like, 2 truths and a lie. Like, but then they'll give me something. They'll be like, like I can play the saxophone, or like mine was I was Dare Student of the Year in 2000. Like, great, whatever, like just to get the crowd laughing a little bit. But it is so funny how hard it is to get comedians to come up with a fun fact. It's like, they're just not ready for it, the question. Yeah. And I have fun with that now, I guess. Them not being able to come up with one fun thing about themselves.
I don't know if I was a good host ever at all. Honestly, I never love it. I don't know. It's a whole different skill. My buddy James Fry is really good at it. Sam
James
Goldstein's really good at it.
I used to see his show. He used to do the show at Azars, and and like that was like when I had. Oh
wow! You used to come to that show all the time. I was there all the time too.
I used to come to that, and wait, I need to plug in my computer really quick. I don't want to get cut off here. So pardon me for a second.
Yeah, no worries. This is where I'll do the commercials.
Okay, 1 second. Hang on. Okay. And Squarespace. Okay, great. Brought to you by. All right, yeah. So I used to have, like my comedy timeline. Dane Cook, Sarah Silverman was a little middle school weirdo. And then like jump forward 10 years. And I used to go on, when I first would go on dating app dates and stuff in college. So I always loved stand up, but then I would have so many first, second, third dates where I'd be like, let's go to a comedy show. And I'd date the guy for way longer than I should have. Cause I'd be like, well, we always laugh. And I'm like, no, the comics are making you laugh. You have a great time. It's not a good interaction date. And I'm like, this is probably really annoying for them, but I'm like, well, he's not funny. So we'll move on here. So I would use them as my comedy date foreplay. And it was probably not fair to the comics. I never gave them a chance to opt into that. So I'm sorry, but yeah, I remember being like, well, that's probably you don't know what they're like, cause you're just listening to the comics the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. And you were saying before about hecklers. I think hecklers can be. I'm not a fan of hecklers, and also, but sometimes they contribute, and it's ridiculous. But most of the time, it's just hammered people shouting, And I've gone all over the place doing bar shows, especially as you can entertain them sometimes. I've brought people up on stage that are just so, I'd be like, come on, you think I'm terrible? You try it, motherfucker. And the whole place just lambent. Dude, you have to listen back to one of my podcasts with Alex Hooper, because we talked about the mariachi heckle, which was the most gangster heckle ever recorded.
Oh my God. I need to know.
But so hecklers can be annoying, but I think when you're hosting, getting people into the show is your job. Getting as many people. So that sometimes is interacting with them and sometimes talking to them about stuff. So
I know. So it's I really need to cause I've listened, my first, so this is a life hack for anyone who is or is not a millennial, but like one of my number one attributes for any like career I've embarked on, and I've embarked on a few now, and being successful in it is literally Googling anything I don't know what to do. It's like Googling like how to like, I've literally Googled specific emails that I've like sent to a boss and been like, how to email your boss when like this thing happens. And there's an answer out there. Like, you know, spoiler for any, like how to make I'm like, there should be a Google template for this. Boom. It's out there.
Dude, there's literally no excuse to be unable to do almost anything.
To invent any wheel. You do not have to reinvent any wheel. Someone's already made it, and they have a YouTube tutorial about it too.
Yeah, I mean, you can get up to the microphone. That part you can't learn any other way.
Yeah, so I would love it. This is just I'm manifesting this from the universe. If someone wants to put together a how to host tutorial with like great questions to ask the audience for Morgan Taylor,
you make it.
Shit. Okay. Or a super reel of like best host openers. That would be great.
That could be your whole thing. Like your TikTok is you having terrible experiences with hecklers.
That'd be funny. Like with terrible questions I've asked the audience.
Hosting.
And I couldn't, terrible questions I've asked the audience when I didn't know what else to say. Anyone here had a loved one die recently?
Dude, Jen Murphy had, speaking of James Fry, we were doing a show. You may have come to those at not the Tipsy Goat. Lava Lounge. Did you ever come to the Lava Lounge when James hosted shows there?
I don't think so.
So James used to host the show at the Lava Lounge, and it was usually like it was comedy and then karaoke. And one night we were there, and Jen Murphy was there, and I don't know who else was on the show, but I know she was there because James didn't tell her that after the show they were having like a memorial for a busboy that had just died or something, and her set was all like ripping on like the crazy candle setup. I think that was up on the stage. I forget the details, but like
yeah.
And after she came off, James was like, "Yeah, they're having a memorial for," and she was like, "Why the fuck didn't you tell me that?"
Oh my god! Oh, that's my nightmare.
It was so funny.
You know, we did. Maybe I shouldn't talk about this. I'm gonna beep. Okay.
All right.
We want to talk about this.
And we're back. That was a great story, by the way. I really enjoyed that.
I know, right? Matt is literally crying, laughing. He did a spit take. You guys missed it. I won't go there. But like, I do have this thing where like, okay, so like, people have comedy shows in crazy places. I have hosted comedy shows in crazy places, and like it is, and I've been on the other side of it where you're the one on stage and you're like, oh, this is so easy to make fun of. But it is so cringe to me when like you're being let into a space and like you rip on the space, and like I just maybe this, like I have to know like if it's just me being a noob and like my sensitivity. There's a few areas actually I would love to, like, this is a timestamp too that maybe like 5 years down the road I'll be like, listen to this, you know, idiot cherub and what she thinks about the world. But like right now I have a few hangups on like making fun of the venue, because I feel like the host or like the venue itself is like, I'm having this comedy show and oh my God, they're making fun of my family Greek restaurant. Like, how dare they? That's so mean. And then the other thing I have is like comics like lying about life experiences. Like I have gone up to so many comics after and been like, that was I can't believe your aunt said that or whatever. And they're like, that's not true. And I get so upset. I'm like, what? You just lied to me? Like, I'm like, call me gullible, call me whatever. But I just go like, and like, I just lose, like, it's just a light dies in my eyes. So like, maybe I'm a young child, but those things seem wrong to me.
Yeah, I get you. I mean, I get taken out of bits if there's something way off. Like if it's so egregious, I'm like, now I'm not with you anymore. You know what I mean?
They
like,
go the other day or the other this, and I'm like, it wasn't the other day.
Yeah. Some of those throwaways I don't mind, but like when it's like,
it's distracting. It's distracting.
It's distracting. Yeah, it's distracting. But I think for the venue, so do you know who Joe DeRosa is?
Yes.
So he did Comedy Ahoy one night, and like I said, it was usually always packed, like usually always like 50, 60 people, like, which is really good for a bar show, all attentive, paying, like, there for the comedy show. Like, it was fucking
That's
fun.
the dream. That's the dream.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. And Joe DeRosa, you know, you were talking kind of like the tiers of comedy at the time. He was like a big New York comic. Like, I was really excited to have him on the show. Like, I was excited, like, to have him headline. It was fucking dead. There was like 11 people in there. And he was so cool and so nice the whole time. Like, he's like, I don't give a shit, man. It's all good. He went up on stage and just obliterated me. Like, literally just like spent 15 minutes just tearing me a new asshole. The venue.
You specifically? What
yes,
about you?
Me specifically. Like, he's like, and this fucking, he was totally kidding. Like, he came off stage. He was like, that was fun. This is a great room. But like, I was like, holy shit. Like, it was awesome. So we had to acknowledge the elephant in the room, which was, what the fuck? I'm on television. I write for Amy Schumer and I'm in this shithole and there's 11 people. What the fuck, Matt? Like, he's literally like looking at me, and it was great. It was
But
great.
is it the kind of thing where he's making it about, what have I done wrong?
Yes.
I'm here. And
Yeah.
is it like just like sort of meta, like looking down on the situation?
All of those things, but also very hurtful.
Oh, see, you're like me. You're like, but you're your therapist later on. You're like, and they said these mean things. Oh, okay. So my comedy naivete. This is what this podcast could be called, is my kind of comedy naivete. Or you know, okay. So I did this joke and it only killed one time, and it was also in the Valley. So I feel like that tells you about the clientele. But it was I'm like, you guys might know me from my first set, which I posted online and like actually went viral. It was called Amateur Blonde Gets Humiliated in room full of men. And like, thank you all so much for watching, for clicking. And like, so that only made people laugh one time. But that is what I feel like. I just constantly, I'm getting like my bubble burst anytime I go somewhere. So like with, oh, what were we just talking about? Shit.
Joe DeRosa making fun of the room.
Joe DeRosa making fun of the room, making fun of yourself. TikTok, internet troll. Sorry, this is like kind of an aside, but that's another area where I'm very fresh.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like I posted my first stand-up video and it got like a lot of views and like a lot of, people commenting on it, but they were not saying nice things. They were like, they're, you know, the definition of trolls, like people with no followers, no videos posted, just like women aren't funny, like crickets, like, you know, whatever, stuff like that. And I'm like, logically, I know that like the definition of a troll is someone who's like trying to get a rise.
Yeah. Yeah.
No reason, but the experience of it is so much harder than that. And like being able to process it, and yeah, I cried. And yeah, my therapist had to talk to me about it. And like, yeah, I talked to a few female comedians and I'm like, how do you deal with this? Or I was like, at least I'm in the algorithm. Like, at least I'm getting views. And they go, or you're just a woman online. And I was like,
yeah, pretty much. I can't imagine, dude.
I know. So it's like, the experience of it is always so much harder than it looks on the outside.
I would say post and don't look again. Like always outward, always outward.
Well, okay. So here's the method that I have sourced from.
Or you have to interact and then you're forcing yourself to read everything. So,
well, I'm going to read, I mean, like until I get to the point where I can hire, you know, my
get
sister.
really witty.
Well, that's the thing.
Embrace them all.
So yeah, that's the, or I call a hit on them. The strategy I've sourced from a fellow female comedian is like screenshotting them so that you have a record of them, but then like delete and block and report them because because when they live on your account, they can feed other trolls to do the same thing. They're like, oh, we see this happening. And so it can build on itself, which I think.
So you don't mean like just an offhand comment. It's like legit crazy shit.
Well, my favorite one was, hey, and not that I memorized it by heart. I'm reading it totally. Hey, I've watched a few of your videos and I have to ask, do you use a shower head or something else when you flick the bean? Like, please respond or whatever. That's a fun one. Like that would be really fun to like respond to and be like, hey, I've been getting this question a lot. And then respond to that. But like, other than that, it was just like, women aren't funny. Like, this sucks, blah, blah, blah. Like, just like the mean stuff. And it's like, do I want this living on my comments and attracting more of the same?
Right.
And that's what I've heard from other female, like, or people who get trolls, is like, it'll read that. But yeah, block, report, screenshot. So if you want to do a funny video, you can, but it doesn't have to like fester on your thread.
I just think I would go back again. Like, yeah, that all sounds like a good strategy, I think, but also there's just too many people and half of them are insane.
Well, I don't have I would like more trolls if it means that I get more views. Like, I don't have enough to where I can't manage it. Like, now I'm at the like tricky part where it's like, and it's not enough to be unmanageable, but enough to where I can actually like strategize.
Yeah. God.
Yeah.
That's a whole other aspect I haven't considered. I just don't pay attention to it.
Well, hecklers are trolls IRL.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a little bit bolder when they climb out of their dank hole and come to a comedy show. And that's a heckler.
I had a woman heckle me at the Comedy Store once, like 1 a.m. And
oh, nice.
I engaged her, which was my first mistake, but also I'll never forget it because she was wearing a tuxedo shirt. Like the t-shirt that was a tuxedo.
Wait, that's the opposite. I have the muumuu that's a bikini, and that's the opposite. I love that so much. She heckled you in a tuxedo shirt.
In a tuxedo shirt, because I looked at, I was like, are you seriously wearing a tuxedo shirt and you can talk to me right now? Like a t-shirt. It wasn't like a tuxedo. It was a tuxedo t-shirt.
She's like, yes, sir, I am dressed for a night out. How dare you?
Holy shit.
What did she say? Wait, so when you say you engaged her, what do you mean?
I acknowledged that she was speaking. Like,
because
I shut off what I was trying to do and was distracted enough to engage her. I should have just rolled past it and she would have shut up.
You think so? Okay.
Probably.
So
like I was like my first year. It was like my first year or two.
How'd you get up on the Comedy Store in your first year or two?
They used to do these horrible things called bringer shows.
I've participated in the bringer.
It's the worst. It's so bad for comedy. I mean, I did it so I could say I was on the Comedy Store stage, right? I did a bunch of them, maybe a handful, like 5 or 6. 2 were amazing. Because I did a sold out original room. Now they weren't sold out for me, but it was still a sold out original room. I still did well. Mark Maron was on the show. Like, all these legends were on the show. And I held my own.
I think I was there.
Really?
I was there at one of your shows that we all went to.
At the Belly Room?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah. That was with Mark Maron also. Yeah.
Yes, because that's like the one time I saw Mark Maron. That amazing, amazing show. And see, like, those are the things that I was worried would never come back after COVID. Those like crowded, like jam-packed comedy.
That wasn't really a bringer. That was a booked.
No, that was incredible, and you did awesome.
Yeah, that was a booked one. But my early ones were bringers, where there would be like 30 comics, and you had no idea when you were going on stage, and you got 2 minutes if you brought 8 people, and 1 minute if you didn't bring 8 people. And your friend that did show up waited till 1 o'clock through a bunch of people that were terrible at comedy. Like, that was the thing, is like,
there's no discerning between anyone at all.
The Comedy Store now is so different than it was when I started. Like, and I don't even know how it made through COVID, but like the year right before COVID happened, it was every night was just packed, jam packed. But it wasn't that way. It was a scary, dark place for a while there in the early 2011, 12, 13.
I was going to say,
really.
I think I brought one of my faithful dates to to one of your Comedy Store book shows.
Yeah. The Belly Room shows were fun. Tammy Jo Deeren booked those. Those were pretty fun.
I mean, yeah, that's awesome.
But the one with the lady in the tuxedo shirt, that was the main room. That was the only time I ever did the main room. And it was like this comedy showcase thing. Although I will say, even though my experience on that show performing was garbage, I spent an hour in the green room with Bill Burr talking about gun control, because there had just been like a school shooting, and he was like, "Ah, it's good to see another old guy back here." Like,
Oh my God.
'Cause-
Did you guys tap heads?
we did not, but there's a lot that back room's pretty sketch. There's
Yeah.
a piano, like a mirrored piano. It's like really,
There's just a ghost playing the entertainer the whole time.
yeah. Bobby Lee was on that show. God, he's nuts.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, bringers were weird. I forget why we got on this topic.
Well, we were talking about hecklers and engaging them.
Oh yeah. I'd have to strongly advise to not engage them.
See, but regardless of if you had engaged that woman or not, you would have remembered the fact that a tuxedo shirted woman yelled at you in your show. Just like I remember the fact that like a guy with Chewbacca's profile picture asked me if I used a shower head for my situation. Yeah. Like you can, when they're enough to where you can count them, you remember them.
I wish I would have just seen the tuxedo shirt and moved on.
And been like, sir, I'm so sorry. I
only had 3 minutes, and like a minute of it was dealing with her.
Yeah, that's rough.
But
that is rough.
I think the best thing I ever did was start my own show.
At the Ahoy?
Comedy Ahoy, yeah.
Comedy Ahoy, okay.
And then Brewing Comedy up here. I did another one in like a pizza shop for a couple months. The owner was a moron. I was like, I brought 50 people into your pizza restaurant at 9:00 and you're not going to pay me? Like what?
For real?
What are you talking about? Oh, it was brutal.
That's rough.
And then I did another one at a brewery in Westlake that didn't work out because it was too big. It was just a giant room. Like it was just not good.
Was that? I almost feel like I know the name of the.
It was Westlake Brewing Company or something. I don't think it's. I don't think they're in business anymore.
And they have like a winery on the other.
Yeah. But it was like this gigantic cavernous room. I think I did it 3 months. And like the second month, this was another one where the comic was big and I was really excited to have the show, and it turned into a shit show. And he made fun of me the whole time on stage. But it wasn't my fault. It was shit outside of my control. But like,
well, I mean, I feel like if comics are like, and I wonder how, because like I feel like I've kind of maybe fallen into producing a little bit, and like I want to be mindful of like as I enter into the comedy scene, like there's things I'm dabbling in because I want to understand like if they're right for me and if I want to explore them more. So like hosting, producing, and then like being I think first and foremost, like I want to be able to like perform and have that be my number one thing. I also love the idea of writing, like, writing satirical pieces, like random things, like supporting things with that is interesting to me. And like, I'm trying to explore that more, but like the producing and booking side of stuff, like I've done almost, and the producing, hosting, booking side have been sort of part and parcel of the comedy side of things. I feel like you like almost have like, can you go through life like being just a comic and never have to produce or book a show? Like I feel like that seems, I'm like, how?
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible.
But I also feel like you should. Like it's almost like everyone should be a server. Every comic should be a producer or a booker or a host at some point so they understand it.
Yeah, but at the same time, like some people don't have or want to generate those skills, and they're funny because they don't have them. Like they need to be their self, and their self includes sleeping until noon or 1 or later and doing whatever the fuck they want.
They don't do the 5Ks that bookers do every morning?
No, not usually. No.
The jogathons that we do once a week? Yeah, no, I've been trying to adapt to the like later hours and stuff, and that's hard too.
Yeah. You just gotta hang, man. You just gotta hang. But I think it's just another experience that informs you. I mean, you were saying how you studied. Like, I spent a year going to comedy shows before I went up, and I went every week basically to the Ice House in Pasadena, and it was school. I treated it like school, like it was like a course. I was like,
you just go hang out.
I just went to the shows and watched and took it all in and be like, oh, and if you see the same comics over and over again, you see how their jokes get crafted. You're like, oh, okay. Like,
God,
Yeah,
that's such
so-
a that's such an encyclopedia way of getting information. Like instead of
Oh, yeah.
podcasts feel like I'm mainlining
Yeah.
like comedy intel where I'm like getting all this stuff from whatever, and I'm like, I can do kung fu. Like it's
Yeah.
like
A little bit. A little
yeah,
bit.
it's so, but it's almost an influx of info too.
But going to see good comedy on a regular basis is maybe your best school. Doing it and recording it and learning I felt like I had to get something out of every show. Like every show I had to get something, even if it was a little tag, a little change, a little word smithing, a little new bit I didn't think I was going to get, or new idea.
Well, if your time is valuable, which it is, and it should, and then it's so fun to sometimes go on like rolls, like Tuesday night. There's so many amazing mics to go to Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays, where it's like, okay, am I going to like this? There's a real trade off where it's like there's one mic that's like super supportive that I have a blast going to. That's like, I don't know if I might get a good tape out of it.
Yeah.
But then there's a feedback mic that I can do instead that is maybe like less fun and validating, but like I might need to grow more from that. And then like when I go to one, then it affects what I do later in the night. And so it's really like, setting an intention for that day and that week and being like, okay, so like and I think there's a comic, Dustin Nickerson, who's incredible. We book on Don't Tell a lot, and I've gotten to see a lot. And he's really inspired me, where he has this idea of like treating comedy as a farmer, where he's like, I do this many mics a week, I post this many things a week or whatever. And like, if that's my goal, and I'm like, oh, that's a cool way to look at it. Cause I'm like, okay, if my goal is to post one thing, where am I going to get that one thing? Where am I going to improve that way? So like, it's really awesome, the like information that people have relayed. And like, I guess the challenge to me and other new comics is like putting that to use in a way that works for them.
It's not a zero-sum game. So like you're doing things isn't going to affect anybody else doing or not doing things. So just keep doing things and like figure it out and keep going. Like that's it. It's like a longevity game. There's just too many people. There's too much shit.
Yeah. So wait, it's yeah, exactly. And so it's not a zero-sum game, but it is the Hunger Games.
Kind of.
Or it is like, okay, have you ever read Stephen King's The Long Walk?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well then this is a dark metaphor. Where everyone has to walk, and if you stop walking, you die. Anyway, but it's like you could just like you got to keep going and find your way to keep.
No, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. And I feel like I haven't gone back yet since the pandemic started, because
when are we going to see you back here?
Well, I don't know, because although I think probably soon, because my thinking on this whole thing is starting to shift. But I don't want to do it unless it's comfortable. Like I don't want to just go to go. I don't want people wearing masks during the show, because and I'm not taking a stand against masks. What I'm saying is I want to wait until we don't have to.
Well, and also think about just like we talked about, what's your goal? What's your purpose from it? Like, what do you hope to get out of it? I just like it.
Yeah. Like I have too many responsibilities, and it takes way too long to make money enough to keep up my responsibilities of it. So, I mean, in a lot of ways, like I feel like I'm dabbling until I don't have those obligations anymore a little bit. Like at some point, if I live long enough, I will just pursue it, and that's all I'll do. But for now, I'm doing everything that I like involved with it and keeping things up. But like as far as producing, I'm not ready.
that's a full-time gig that is.
I don't know what I'll talk about yet. I really don't know what I'll talk about. I think there's a few of my bits that could be salvaged after the pandemic, the world after the pandemic, but. Like one of my closer is timeless. Like someday I'll get that on a special. Like,
oh yeah.
But
don't let your art die inside you, man.
No. It'll get out there. It's literally this idea of being in little clubs, little closed clubs.
little
like,
closed
"Yeah."
clubs where everyone's like, I mean, and that's why I got the booster today, because I'm like Morgan, comedy COVID queen, where I'm like, if I were to ever, like, I watched Contagion, with Gwyneth
That was a
Paltrow.
good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, so I watched that in March when the pandemic started, and I watched it again recently, and I was like, they could easily trace me to like 7 mics and be like, yep, Gwyneth Paltrow, just are not 74, just spreading it all over town. So yeah, so getting the booster seemed responsible, but not a lot of people are like that, and like it's just multiply that quintuplets by whatever is going on. So yeah, it's really smart to do what's possible. But people are still doing virtual mics, virtual shows. Like some of the mics I was, thinking of earlier are virtual ones too. So virtual shows and mics and stuff. Those are
I
still
think that's a
happening.
good vehicle for like tags and would you call it a feedback mic? I think
Yeah.
that's probably a good thing for Zoom type stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't do any Zoom shows.
I mean, it's not over. I mean, it's like so many corporate spaces are still doing. I mean, and that's what I do on the booker producer side, is booking those shows, and it's so cool to like be able to create that space where like they need stuff going on, and you can bring them together and do all that, and like just like any mic or room, you just adjust your expectations. So like, if I walk into a certain room, like I know this is like, I just have to adjust the level of what I'm expecting. And just same thing with Zoom and virtual. I mean, it's just adjusting the level of what you're expecting and being happy with that, and not like on the best case scenario version of what you have in your head.
Yeah. It's, like I said in the beginning, there's really no answer. Just keep going. just keep
you
keep
want to
going.
end on this ambiguous note, and I want to bring us to a fine point.
Yep. So, I mean, tell me where you're going to be. This will come out this week. So where are you going to be in the next couple of weeks? Where can people find you? And, all the stuff.
All the things. Well,
I'll put everything in show notes also. So, but
fantastic.
nobody looks at those.
I do. I look at them and I click them. So I'll
there you go.
send link, my friend.
Yeah, please do.
Well, I will be hosting at the Pasadena Comedy, like I do every week, on Saturday from 5 to 8. I will be performing on a show in Oxnard on December 20th. Also performing at a show downtown on the 27th. And this is reverse order, but performing virtually on the 13th. So all those things will be sent to you in order, but that's where I'll be for the next month.
I'm psyched for you, man. I really am.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I can see you've been bitten by the pull. Like it's crazy fun, crazy addictive.
It is.
Super amazing.
It's like a compulsion. It's like I gotta get up. I gotta do. I went to Tulsa, Oklahoma to visit family, and I was like, I gotta find a mic here.
Did you go up?
Yeah, I did. I found some weird, or not weird spots, really cool spots, and like everyone there, like the level of like talent and like the camaraderie was even more like potent than what I've seen in some, LA mics and stuff. And it's probably just because like, adapted community. So it's so cool to have this thing you can pick up and take anywhere. So I'm very grateful for it. And I'm grateful to get to talk about it. So thank you. Yeah,
no worries. This has been awesome. I'm glad we finally pulled it together, and I'll post it up and all the things. So this is awesome. Congratulations. Good luck.
Thank you,
Come back again and we'll chat.
I'll see you out there, double vaxxed, and as soon as you're ready. Can't wait.
Yeah, man. For sure. For sure.
So deep in my heart that you're really a part of me. Yes, I've got you under my skin. I've tried so not to give in. I said to myself, this affair ain't never gonna go too well. But why should I try to resist when, baby, I know too well that I've got you under my skin. I'd sacrifice might. For the sake of having you near, in spite of a warning voice that rings in the nights, repeats and repeats in my ear. Don't you know, little fool, you ain't never gonna win. Use your mentality.